Hey guys, so working on the castle and all the subterranean dungeon that's going on in here. All these places on the ground here are the dungeons. Let's drop down in there. Oop, slam into a wall. Drop down into here. This takes us down below the building, the main building here, to the receiving hall. When you come into there, doing the dungeon, but I just want to say that this main receiving hall is just off the throne room. Okay, so I got a lot of bits and pieces. Wonder how many it shows. 30,000 and climbing. Almost 32,000 right here. Pretty typical of my builds. Okay, this is level 1. The dungeon. And this is below ground. This is level 2. Below ground. So you can see I'm shutting down a bit. It's real difficult to, but here's the first guard station on the lowest level. And then we can go this way, which shows the east corridors that way. There's a lot more than just these 4 main markings in the corridors on the east end. So prison, the sanctuary, blacksmith, alchemy's down here. It's the alchemist's area in here. Guards. Stock and storage. This is where the rune table or alchemy table and then the shaman's table are in here. And they do these things. There's a basic construction table here also in order to handle, various projects, because it isn't just about liquids or reagents. Sometimes you got to add leather and wood and stuff like that. So come out of there. This is a basic guard room here. I believe most of these are the bronze guards. We'll head up this way. There's this alleyway here. Take this one for a minute. And this will actually take us back around to the beginning again. So it's just kind of a loop around. But we'll head right up into here. Meet up first with the guards. They're going to be here to make sure that you're not doing anything ridiculous. This is called the war room in here. The scribe is here. And he gives the king most of his references, what's going on in the mystic world. He can scribe the futures. The thrones are here. This is the war room and the planning table. This is my version of the ice throne because they didn't make one and I used pieces out of Balron's nature. So these are parts of the game, the stalagmites and stuff. But this is the war room here. This table's all the cartography table, but as you can see, I can put things on it. Same thing with the arms of the chairs, the seats of the chairs. And yes, this does work good. I like it. I could just get myself. Sits in nice and snug. All right. And this is the main storeroom or the larder. You want to call it that. This is the stock room. Keep things in here, potions and stuff. With mass amounts of wine. There's a lot of barrels in this castle because, hey, wine is a thing. There's a hearth to keep this space warm because it is subterranean. This is the royal suite, though it is not the king's suite. This is for guests. There's a guard station in here as well. This is the guest room here, put together nicely. Whatever dignitaries are coming, they can entertain too, because there's more than just 2 chairs to their little table there. This is the war room. And then we came up here to meet the guards. We can go that way there, or we can go this way here. So we're going to go this way here. You see my signs right there, giving you an idea of where we're going. Come down this hallway and go to the prison. However, there's a trick to this hallway right here. I can set drums, boxes, and barrels on the carpet. They don't fall through. It pretends it's a floor, but underneath of here is my main treasure room. No, they're not empty. That's where the main treasure sits down here. Billions of dollars in gold and gems. We're starting to come in here to the prison area. You can see there are quite a few people who did not conform to the rules, and now they are skeletons. But here we go. Why have a pig pen in a dungeon or a prison? Because you can dispose of bodies. The boars will eat everything, the bones, everything. That is a truth known all around the world. Hi, buddy. Guard room 5 down here. Guards live here. These are the prison guards. They live in here. And it goes all the way through back up to the entrance of the prison. And then these are the holding cells. As we came in here, Mr. Boar right there. These are the holding cells here. Holding 2, holding 3. Guards. More guards. More guards. Because they're pretty high profile prisoners in here. So, and then here's where we get answers. And yes, we get answers. You pull your tongue out, the hot knife, and cut it off. Hot pitchfork. Special holding cell where he decided he was going to die on us. Prison's in here, and then this room here has a secret door. And then this is a long tunnel, goes way out into the woods and pops up under a dolmen. Travels underneath of the town that's outside the wall, under the buildings and stuff. Oh, I need a bigger computer. What computer can I handle this stuff, man? I'm stressing it. So that's the prison wing right there. We'll head out here. Hello, boars. There was a big blue boar in there. I wonder if he's still in there. Yep. Big blue boar. He's hungry. I would feed him, but they make more boar that way. And then a lot of these things are actual containers. Some are not. I was hoping that the coffins would be so I could put bones in them, but they're not. The coffins are not a container. Wouldn't have been hard to make them one. All these are containers. You put so much stuff in these bins and containers I have in this castle that I don't think there's enough stuff in the world. All right, headed out this way. We can go down another level into here. This is the lower passage. It's guard here. Leads over to here. And then we can hit all these signs right here, going back that way. Going this way. There's quite a bit going on to the right there. The blacksmith building is, I don't know, building. The blacksmith is in here. This is where he creates his masterpieces. He's got a lot of fun stuff in here to be able to do his job. A dummy to practice on in case they need to whack a few things. Research area here. A wash-up station. Various tools and implements to be able to create the magical weapons and things. I can go up here, back up to the other level, and there's another guard station up here. Or I'll go back this way, back down through the lower tunnel, because that's where we were. Then we'll stop, take a look here. Windermere is not built yet. It's a building above the prison. And actually, it's above Sanctuary. Above the prison is the castle guard housing is above the prison. Runecraft room here goes even lower down, deeper into the ground. Here. The Rune Master Rawl is in here. This is his area. He does all this rune work down into here, making his magic and stuff. Pool of Blood, casting blood magic. The Rune Forge for doing runes. Trapped spirits. Sulfur barrel. You got to be able to boil the sulfur. Frozen sundial. It's a magical item. It does not need to see the sun. An obelisk for the rune stone. An area here to mix regents and do research. Dried herbs, stuff like that. And that guy's room there. Rune Master Rawl. His security forces here. They spend a lot of time together. That way they have each other's back. They're friends as well. Guard Jack here. Mess hall, library, east corridor is where we are right now. That should say you are here, but it's black so that it can. Guard room 6. This guy stays here. He's the one guard who's always stationed here. That is his post. Come into here, and this is the security checkpoint for Sanctuary. You come into here, the guards secure the door, have you sit down for a while and make sure that your papers are all in order, or you're allowed into the Sanctuary, which is a special place we have set up for the high families in the castle. Got the Thatchersons that are here, the Fletcher's here, Woodman's there, Brickman lives there, Digger's there. He's the reason why we have this catacomb. The Ericksons, McLeod. McLeod's are in here. Mr. and Mrs. McLeod. She's the herbologist, in case you're wondering. This is Erickson's. They have a new child. It's a young couple here. Their older Ericksons perished in the last major war, so it's just these two kids left, starting the Erickson clan back up again from nothing. We'll go into here. This is, of course, checkpoint 1. And that is the sanctuary as it sits right now. Bakehouse and the kitchen are in here. This is where you would go to prepare all your foods. Oils, wines, stuff like that are here. The press here for extracting, making more. Got another press here for pressing vegetables, getting vegetable juice. And then this is the spot where he does all his recipes and mixes his herbs. The drying rack is here. Of course, you wash up when you come into the room first. Got a searing barbecue here. Got a searing barbecue here. A food station in the corner. Got the ovens. Got the castle ovens lined up here. Food prep station here. Butcher's area here. Bunch of hanging meat. Prep station is here. Meat cooking hooks are here. Pots and pans. The big kettle down there. A couple of pots here. Pots under there. Got the baking area in here. Got meat smoking up in here. Got the pizza oven. My herb section here. Grinding herbs. More herbs here. All this prep area. Takes a lot to feed this big old place. The butter churn there. A little bit of salt and stuff for the butter. That is the bakehouse and the kitchen. Hey, there's a hole in the floor, dear Liza. What is that all about? Somewhere I knocked a hole in the floor. All right. This is the library basement in here. Do research in here, reading books. Bunch of research right here. Looks like he's been doing some scroll work there. This guy looks like he's doing some research into spells. The cartographer spot. This is where the cartographer does his maps. Another scroll researcher here, apparently. He's got himself set up here. He must have a research partner. The cartographer's always got his guys that come in, the woodsmen, when they come in and the rogues, they bring in their scratchings, man. I don't even understand that stuff when they bring it in. This area here, the just casual reading, in case you just want to be alone and read. There is no library upstairs yet. I posted the edges of the spiral stair because I keep falling off of it. I know, right? I can't see on it either. That is the library basement. Wonder how many instances I got right here. You know, just under 32. Just. Okay, so that is the lower level. We pretty much covered, well, not really. That's not all of it. So let's go back this way to the Coliseum. Somebody died in the corner there. It's another spot where a guard station is. We'll come back this way. We are now back here in the war room. We're going to run right over here real quick. Go down this hallway because we turned back on this one. So this little spot here is guards, but if I go this way, it'll take me right back around to the beginning again. Like I said, it's a turn back area. First guard station. Oh, it's getting dark. Must be nighttime out there. I've got a pretty big computer, but it has a trouble. So this is the Coliseum. Yep. And then we go in here and you can see I've got monsters in here already because the vergers down there, a couple circlings, they're tiny when you get them in a cage and something. They're not very big at all. But these two clowns here, They're bouncing. The blue dudes, they are tier 3. These guys are normal. And down there, back here, got the dwarves in here. Formidable foes. If you're ever in the Coliseum fighting those guys, a couple joggers, feelings. These guys, the dead, charred buddies. Wild boars, wolves, they're not in here because they wouldn't stop fighting the boars. This is the troll pen. Doors are huge so the trolls can get through. There is a werewolf in here. This is the Coliseum. This is where you would fight and or die. That is the king's viewing booth there. The throne is right above me. Right up there. He can see the fighting through his glass floor, even if they're right below him. This is where the dignitaries view from. They don't get a glass floor. Just doesn't have it. Close that. Stumps and open doors. I don't like either one of them. I wish the doors would close after you got about 20, 25 feet away from them. So I go up here, and this is the second level. This will take me back to the first building here. This is the very first building. And the throne room is over there. So we're at level 2, which I believe I designated this as the red level. But this is the red castle anyway. Its motif is red. Okay, so here we've got prison, sanctuary, war room, and Colosseum that way, and the east corridor. But these will both actually, in a roundabout way, you can end up back around over there again. So, got guard room 2. Guys live in here. These are the guards that don't have families. This is guard room 3 and entrance to the walls. So through here, the men can reach the walls. Guard room 3 is here. This is called guard room 3, but it's actually the bedroom right here. This is kind of his main area here. He stays here all the time. He is the one person that stands between the tower, tower walls, and the dungeon. This is the corner building in the tower wall. Guards live in each corner. If I go back this way, it'll take me to the gatehouse, which is incomplete. We are at the gatehouse. There's spawn. Big getting in my way. Take us back in here. We'll go back down underneath because we're covering the dungeon today. A lot of construction above ground, but I'm pretty sure I've completed everything I wanted to do in the subterranea. Weapons rack, guard station, archery target for practice. I just noticed a hole in my wall. I wonder how many of you guys noticed a hole in the wall? Good job, not too bad. I mean, I wanted high ceilings, so I got high ceilings. Guard station, he's got cobwebs in there. Head back this way again. And we covered the Coliseum and the war room. We covered the prison. art station. It's tucked around the corner there. A couple of guys standing in here. Go this way. That takes us up to the armory. It's also outside, but this is the armory here. It isn't built because the upstairs, like I said, is under construction. And I'm not happy with some of my ideas on my buildings, so they are incomplete. This in here is the down into the blacksmith. Showed you this before we came up here, but we were covering the lower level at that point. So here, I've got the Bowyer's Archery Shop. Various supplies, bone, wood, oil, ink, guard shack here. This is where they make all the bows, arrows. Fletcher's table allows me to make bows and arrows. Stacks of targets if you need to come pick up the target. Need a new weapon. These are all blanks. They are level 1. That's what I refer to as a blank. You gotta finish it when you get done. Otherwise, these are just weapon blanks. Head over to here. Got Mr. Statue there. You get to beat him up. Do some more stuff in here. Construction bench, some tools and whatnot. Compact furnace, because even this guy has to make arrowheads stuff. Refit, reform arrowheads. A little oven for baking things because surprisingly enough, limbs, wood limbs, you can rosin them and bake them to harden them. Baking wood can make it harder. A spot here for sharpening arrow tips. The arrow boxes here. Bolts go in there. Random in there. All my arrow buckets. You guys have seen my other videos of the open air market. I made my own arrow barrels by putting a bunch of item stands together and then putting a barrel around, a bucket around them. The guard station, not much here because there's a guard room here. So they just sit out here. They don't really need to have any other stuff. Craftworks, guard room, and Windermere. Storage room. There's really nothing in here. It's like on some of the other games I play, they're just random storage rooms. They really don't have anything in them. That's guard room 8. This is Craftworks in here. This is the antler station here. They're cutting the antlers off of this trophy and then working on the antlers in here, creating different things. Picks, stuff like that, created in here. Weapon blanks in there, tanning there. The tanning station is here, doing the tanning. Got all my pelts stacked up in these shelves here. Dyes and other powders to be able to cure the leathers. Stuff like that. He's got a bonsai tree. Got some live animals in here. Some chickens and bunnies. Cages to catch them. More dye. Washout barrels here. Research station here. That is the Craftworks. This is a guard station in here, guard room. No, quite a few guards can live in here. Friendly fellows. Unless you're trying to climb over the wall or sneak in, then they're not so friendly anymore. They will be talking to you about that. Okay. Let's see. Came in this way, came in that way. Got that one, got that one. I'm going to go up here. This is the mess hall. This is where they would go to eat in here. Preparing food here. This is just an easy prep station. It's not like the main kitchen, but it has everything you would need. A single oven, though. Doesn't have the row of the kitchen's ovens downstairs. The great ovens. Looks like they're having a lunch down here. Wine, water, beer, mead, various beverages we need. Now, Windermere, I tried to close a rock. Windermere will be here. It's just not there yet. You know, I think that covers it. Pretty sure it does. So on this map, uh, the seed is picture per, P-E-R. I wanted it to say picture perfect, but there's not enough letters. I can't put in that many letters. Too many letters in the phrase picture perfect. So I couldn't use it as a seed, but the seed is picture per, all connected lowercase. Well, the reason why I wanted to show you this is because, yeah, I thought I was going to say, where's your stones at? I can dig the same depth that I have dug underneath of all of that. This whole area is this way. There's a few spots you can see where it rises up, but otherwise, this is right around spawn on this particular seed. These are the walls I was trying to choose of what I was going to enclose my castle with. So I was building these all over here. You can see I'm at elevation. There's snow on top of this. There is snow on here. So my elevation's pretty high. This is twin bells. And as soon as my computer generates all the parts, the bells should show up. There they are. If their chains disappeared, word to the wise guys, I wanted to show my son what I was doing. So I jumped in here, logged in real quick, and I grabbed a character that had no mods. And I logged in, and everything that was from a mod disappeared. And at that point, I couldn't fix it. I just had to go back in and rebuild it all. And that was 2 weeks' work gone. Poked around up here because I wanted to see what a garden would look like if I did an actual, like, I'm a crazy gardener for a castle and I wanted to cover up all my stuff. So I went crazy and decided to start looking to see what the gardens would look like if I came in and started dressing it all back up to cover up some of that stuff and make it look like this. Like it's a stone walkway in a garden instead of being my subterranean areas. So 2 layers deep, 2 floors deep underneath, 3 in one place. I got 3 out of it. So that's the prison. The guards live there. Thanks for watching.